Hi, Sandra Espinoza here talking about another sewing repair. My daughter has a cute little purse. She's a very creative child and she decided she wanted to cut this. I don't remember exactly why she cut it, but anyway, she wants it repaired. So I'm going to show you how to repair thick fabrics like this. It happens to be a vinyl or a bonded metallic pleather, and all it does is it just loops around a D-ring. So I'm going to clip this off and then fold this over, sew it on with a straight stitch. Before you get started sewing thick fabrics like this, you need to make sure that your sewing machine will be able to do it, number one. And so I recommend testing on the piece that you remove so that you can see if, or test on an inconspicuous piece to see if your sewing machine will be able to handle the amount of fabric that you're going to put through it. Now, you also want to make sure if you're sewing heavy duty things to use a heavy duty needle. This is a 90-14, and I believe that this needle is a leather needle. And you can sew pleather with a leather needle, or you can just use the most heavy duty needle that you can find for your machine's capability in handling heavy duty fabrics. Okay, let's get started. So here we have this connection. So she's put little cute little stickers here on her purse, but this is the way that it should look. The D-ring, and the fabric is just folded and looped through the D-ring, and then it's just stitched. So it's a really simple repair here. And since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and clip off these little threads. Now, this thread is a lot heavier duty than the thread that I'm going to be using. So I will run probably 2 sets of stitches. So I'm just going to clip that away and take it out of the D-ring. So now I just need to put this back through this D-ring. So I'll take the end that she snipped off originally, and I'll just put it right back through and fold it over. Now I just need to stitch that right there, and hopefully I'll be able to do that on my machine. Before I do it with my machine, I'm just going to test it and show you what that kind of testing looks like. So this is the piece I cut off. I'm just going to fold it over as if I was going to be sewing through that much thickness of fabric. I'll use a very long stitch length. I'm going to be using a 5, and I'm going to be using a prop. Do you see how my foot is now angling up? Angling up is going to cause some problems for you, because what might happen is that your needle might hit your plate below and break. So you need a way to lift the back end. Now if you have a Jean-a-Ma-Jig, which you may have, I keep these heavy duty tags from different garments that are purchased over the course of time because they're good props for the back of my machine. So I'll just start here. I just want to make sure, and here you are going to have to bring your fingers really close into the foot probably to get it to push through. Now if you are afraid of that, you can always use something like a point turner seam creaser tool to help you push through, keeping one finger to the left side of the foot and then using your right hand, a tool like this to help push it through if it happens to be lagging as it's getting pulled through the machine and sewing. Okay. And do you hear it struggling? Okay. Now, I'm going to pivot. I want to do it one more time just to see what it looks like. And this isn't going to be a beautiful repair just because it's such a small little piece that I'm working with and I can't really see the initial stitch line. I probably should use a different sewing foot. So when I do the actual repair, I'm going to change my sewing foot here. I will backstitch here. When I backstitch, I'm going to use this tag to help me pull it through. And then I'm going to go forward. And a lot of this happens to be just about, trying things. Okay. See what that looks like? So you see that that's stitched up pretty well. Alright, so now we're ready just to go ahead and sew this because that test was good. And I'm just going to take this piece. Now I am going to change my sewing foot because I don't like this foot that I'm using. It's a little bit too wide. And I can't see center. So this one has me, I can see center on this one that has a center hole. The other one was for a different purpose. I'm going to remove her little sticker, and then I'll just bring this under the foot. Now, this is where you have to be careful. This little head, I don't know if it's going to fit through the machine, but we're just going to make it work here. I'll use my card behind the foot. Right behind that fabric. Now you do want to have enough of a strap turned under so that your foot, so that this part of your foot isn't competing with the bulk of the D-ring here. Because if your foot is anywhere near the D-ring, the fabric that bulges up just right next to the D-ring will actually cause your foot not to be able to be manipulated very well. So make sure that your foot is in good place there. And now my tests show that I could go ahead and use this really heavy cardstock to be able to assist my machine to backstitch. So I will do that as well on this final stitching. I'll just lower my presser, lower my needle, and I'll backstitch. And remember, because I don't have the heavy-duty thread that this was sewn with, I do have to sew a few more sets of stitches just so that it's a durable set of stitches. So that's it. And I'll put her little sticker back on here somewhere. Just to finish her little decoration. And this is finished. Okay, so you can see now that I, just with a quick set of stitches and a couple of nifty leftover tools, that you can do a quick repair on something as sweet as a little girl's handbag. You can do this to any straps. It doesn't have to be for a little girl's handbag. It can be any straps that use some kind of ring to bring together strips of fabric and that are sewn and tacked just to one side of the ring. That's a quick repair. So my daughter's adorable birthday gift is now usable again. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to see more on things like repairs, you can check out my website at ethelandI.com. And remember to sew with intention, because every stitch you make matters.